Hi, good afternoon. I am Poem Praise 2 coming to you at 2 with some information for you. Now, for this live, I'm actually going to be talking to you about a review is what I'm giving to you. This is a review of a summit that I went to. It's the 21 Queens Virtual Summit. Trading capes for crowns was the title of the summit. Now, this was actually, the date was March 26th. And this is a review of my notes that I have from class. Now, hold up before I start, because you know, time be of the essence. It definitely does. And I'm not going to hold you too long. I'll be on here for about maybe 10, 15 minutes at the most. That's what I set my timer for this particular review that I have for you. Now, for the first day, which was entitled State of Sisterhood. And the title I have here is Putting Things in Perspective. 2020 brought clarity, in parentheses, and a VP, vice president, that looks like us. Now, where we are and what's next. Next is Queen is okay. So if the Queen is okay, the queendom. Like that, huh? The queendom will be okay. Now that came from, that little quote right there came from NicoleBiz.law.life. That's what I have here. And you could certainly, now that I brought up her name, Nicole Compton, you can actually go look at her on YouTube. It's Nichole, last name Compton, Compton. And at this point, we actually did bring up Shirley Chisholm here. So I'm just going to play a little bit of Shirley Chisholm for you, okay? And the reason why she came up is because Shirley Chisholm, the first black congresswoman, okay? So we're going to have a little bit of history right here. Poem Praise 2 coming to you. And just give me one moment here while I get ready to...
Shirley Chisholm.
Okay, one moment. Let me make sure my volume is straight here. All right. And let me hit the rewind. Thank you so much for your patience. I'm going to turn it around so y'all can see it too, okay? All right. You ready for me to turn around? Okay, here we go. Okay.
Chisholm was the first African-American woman to serve in the United States Congress and the first woman of any race to seek the Democratic nomination for president. She broke barriers and she made history. But she didn't want to be remembered as the nation's first black congresswoman. Instead, she wanted to be remembered as somebody who had guts. And there's absolutely no question about that. A tenacious educator turned politician, in the 1960s and 1970s, Chisholm became a national symbol for liberal politics.
Shirley Chisholm represented a moment where the possibility of a civil rights movement and a women's rights movement could come together. And if there's one person who represented the intersections of those movements, it would be someone who'd been a part of it.
During her 7 terms in Congress, Chisholm used her national platform to challenge the system, all the while working assiduously to service her Brooklyn constituents back at home.
She entered Congress with the slogan, "Unbought and Unbossed." She pursued her appointment with that energy and had an extraordinary impact. But Shirley Chisholm didn't get as much recognition as she should have, in part because she was a woman.
Black history has suffered from its own vision of patriarchy, its own male-centric view of who its leaders are. So one of the challenges is to be able to tell a narrative about our history that put women right in the center along with the men.
This is a challenge, is to begin to prepare America for the fact that someday blacks will leave this country, that someday women will leave this country. That's what this is all about.
And that was certainly giving you some history in 2 minutes here on Poem Praise 2 at 2 o'clock for you. I'm going to go ahead and get back to my notes here that I have that was taking place. Now, we did get to hear from, there was Aziza, and so, I am so sorry, Miss Aziza, if I said your name incorrectly, but I do have the spelling. Aziza Morris is her last name. She's a speaker, a writer, and change agent, creator of culture out of Texas, spoken word artist, thought leader, and writer. And we got to hear from her also, certainly a wonderful poem. Where we come from? Where we going? Call the women when in trouble. For centuries, held it down. Nicole Compton, I already told you that on YouTube. Unbought and unbossed. Just got to see that on the actual video that I just played for you. Now, as for Miss Compton, she's also an attorney, an author, and an entrepreneur. Next I have here is Pamela Fulton Bradus, Bradus. She does Splendid Events, LLC, and Socially Splendid. She's an owner, a CEO, major events planner is what she does. And then also we had Tina Berry McKay. She's a business owner and mogul, MOGUL. 2 Berries and a Broom, LLC. And that's 2 spelled out, TWOBERRYS, and a Broom, LLC. And next I have here in my notes is Smile. I smile, you smile, we smile. Okay. Smile. Be friendly. Relate with another woman. And don't be afraid to ask. Pick up friend / mother of the city. Being able to lend support and receive support. Geographical location, which I thought this was real important right here. I didn't even think about it until this was actually brought up in the summit. The geographical location of how raised in regards to the treatment of sisters. Because see, I'm up here up north. You have up north and down south, the southern hospitality, that they speak of. Okay. So that really got me to pondering right there, because I was just like, wow, never even thought about it like that. And I don't know if some sisters out here even thinking about that regarding like where you were raised or how sisters are treated in your geographical location. I mean, are they kind of standoffish, like, girl, I don't know you like that, in reference to like hugs, or are they kind of standoffish, like, I gotta watch you, I gotta get to know you a little bit before I get to talking to you? Or are they more like, oh girl, you could just come on over, oh, we got this, if you hungry, go ahead, I'll fix you something to eat, and we all just gonna get our grub on, because it's about that time. It's about, it depends on the geographical location. So that kind of got me to thinking a little bit regarding where you're from. That's nice to know, and regarding to get to know someone. So it did help me step up out of my comfort zone, because in order for unity, you got to do some things in the community. This is a community, the social community. This is social networking. This is IG, what I'm on right now. and you have other social streams as being a community too. But then you also have where you live. That's a community too. So there's certainly individuals in your community that can actually, that you might see, that's possibly in your own neighborhood. Just bring it all the way home. Yeah, in your own neighborhood. That you can be an example, that maybe they're watching you, but not so much watching. Got to get out into the community. To get into to have the unity in the community, you got to get out into the community. Because how you going to do unity in the community if you don't get out there? I'm just saying. Okay. Now, I'm going to move on from that. Because that just intrigued me when she said that. I just got to thinking like, wow. The geographical locations. Now, sisters realize she is me. And then I have a picture of some eyes. So like, see her. Thing I'm playing. I'll be liking to put pictures in my notes. Because you know they my notes. You see the little eyes right there. So yeah, see her. So, you know, see her. She is me. You know, like a reflection in regards to seeing. Now, people then look forward to your presence. So the whole statement for that, without me talking in between it, is sisters realize she is me and see her. And people then look forward to your presence. Next note I have is be more engaging with that person. Not my intent to be mean. Their perception, not mine. So that almost made me think of like a free therapy Mondays. So that's their problem, not a me problem. Because if that's their perception, but that's not how you're coming across, then yeah, my notes. Not my intent to be mean. Their perception, not mine. Now, the next thing I have in my notes is, I remember this saying too. I wrote it down in my notes, but it used to be like, be twice as good to be half as good. So you have to be twice as good in order to be half as good. But nowadays, because we kind of switched on that concept that you don't have to do this. Because my work should speak for itself. So that's almost like the saying, show me better than you can tell me. The work should speak for itself. So your work is actually going to get a reflection of what it is that you're doing. So kind of like some silent moves. But then kind of like when you go to school, when you do show and tell. Hey, let me show you something. Let me show you and tell you a story too. What I'm showing you. And that's what I'm doing right now. On the sneak, I'm giving you a review. Comment at you. Add to. From Poem Praise to. What it do? Okay. Now, next I have in my notes is, who are you? And how are you? And how can I help you this week? Those are just some questions, you know, like some probing questions when you, for introduction purposes. Guess certainly when you meet up with a sister, when you meet up with a queen, and y'all get to communicating, and you find out who you are. And then certainly you want to know, how are you? How are you doing? How are you? You good? You okay? You all right? Is everything kosher and cool? Is there anything that I can do to be of assistance? Maybe it's a listening ear. Maybe it's just, I don't know. If it's someone that y'all looking face to face, I know we're doing social distance, so I don't know. Maybe you have something you can give them. Like, I know there's someone, they were looking at a book that I had. And little do they know, they're going to get the book. It's going to be a surprise. But yeah. Because, you know, I understand you like it. You might could go to my channel. You could listen to me read it, but no, it's something different. I'm the type of individual. I like to have books that are like tangible because, first of all, I want it to be part of the collection. You know, someone else in my house might want to read it. And next, I like to highlight. So highlight. As you see, I highlight my notes too. I like to highlight in my book too because. Go back and it's like a quick reference when you have to highlight. You can actually go to a zoom in on it and pull what you need out the actual book. The fact that you highlighted it for that purpose because it's a highlight. So you make it have a different color for zooming in and quick attention purposes. Right. Now the last thing I have in my notes for this day 1. Because I'm not going to go through all days on this video right here. This is just a review for the first day. And it was a total of, let's see, like 7 days. But I went to 6 of them, okay? My alarm, so that does mean I'm about to wrap it on up, y'all. Because the timer done went off. Now my last line I have is, when you pour into one black queen, you don't know how many women you pour into. You don't know. Almost made me think about the apple that I heard, the apple and the seed. Now, you can see the apple, right? And inside the apple, you can count how many seeds, right? Cut an apple open and you can count how many seeds is in the apple. But if you take that seed out of the apple and you go plant it, you don't know how many apples is in that seed that you plant. So, when you pour into a black queen, my, you don't know how many women you are pouring into, the nations that you are pouring into. You don't. And on that note, I'm going to end this poem Praise 2, coming to you at 2. I do want for you to be well, to be safe, to be blessed, and it be at thy will. I'll talk with you soon. So until next time, I'm signing out, y'all. Later.